If you could do this one thing right, you not only boost your customer lifetime value, you also increase the return on your ad spend without having to spend a single dollar more on ads. This one thing that I'm talking about is creating emails focused on sales, not style. And let's be real, most e-com brands are already sending emails with designs, but most of them are actually doing it wrong because they're either sending outdated emails that end up getting ignored or unoptimized emails that won't convert in 2025 or 2026. So in this video, I'm giving you the full email design masterclass. I'm going to show you the exact 10-figure email design formula that I've learned directly working with Fortune 500 e-com brands. Let's get started. Welcome inside the email design masterclass. And first things first, why is this even important? Why should we even care about this in the first place? Well, barrier to entry is lower than ever, which means e-com brands are multiplying and competition is rising. And so is ad costs, which means every interaction with your customers matters now more than ever. Where be it an ad, piece of content, or an email, they all shape how your customers see your brand. Make multiple good impressions and they're gonna end up buying eventually. But if you stack bad ones, they're gonna scroll past you or worse, block you. When it comes to making good impressions, packaging is everything. That's because you could have the best product in the world, but if you wrap it in a garbage bag, people are gonna think it's trash. But on the flip side, an average product in pretty packaging will still sell out. And this is why design matters. It's the packaging of your email. If you get it wrong, you risk losing an entire marketing channel, email, costing you hundreds of thousands as customers block you from their inbox forever. But if you get it right, you're gonna dominate profitably for years because you're gonna be able to cheaply convert your leads, which you get from your ads, making your ads more profitable, which leaves you with more profit at the end of the day. My name is Pasid. I used to work in-house with Fortune 500 e-com brands and marketing agencies, and now we run email marketing for e-commerce brands. And here's my promise for you. By the end of this free training, which others would have easily charged $497 for, you're gonna know exactly how to create on-brand emails that not only look good, but drives consistent revenue for your brand. And to save you more time, effort, and money, I spent 120 plus hours reviewing every email design video on the internet. This is the only training video that you need to get your designs right. And disclaimer, what I'm about to show you works no matter your niche or industry, and regardless of whatever revenue level you're at. And that's because this is a proven formula built on fundamentals and human psychology, not BS trends that come and go. And this is everything that we're going to be covering in the presentation today. And my goal is that by the end of this video, you're going to be able to take and implement all the actionable steps within 24 hours into your business to permanently drive more sales within your email channel. This is a high leverage task, meaning you learn once, but you reap the rewards forever. So pay attention. And if you don't, then clearly you don't care enough about your business. And in that case, you don't deserve better results. Good luck. So let's just first discuss about how the landscape of e-commerce changed and how we got to where we are right now. With shifting economies, rising ad costs, and new e-com brands multiplying, the two biggest problems are, one, how can I grow my brand at a profit? And two, how can I get more people to choose me over others? Over here, we got golden e-com days. These are 2020 era. And then more competition arise. Then there was an economic downturn. Consumers started saving more money. Then tariffs also happened. And basically that leads to e-com brands having two choices. You could either continue as usual, acting as if things are the same back here, which they're not, you're going to fade away, or you could focus on profit. But since there's so much more competition nowadays, if you also don't differentiate, then you're not going to win. And so brands that leverage high profit and differentiation strategies to solve these problems will set themselves up for years to come. And you can focus on profit with cost-effective strategies to drive revenue like email, and you focus on differentiation by finding which three paths of differentiation is best for your brand. And so these are the three paths. Path number one is lower your prices. Brands who should lower their prices have incredible margins that would get higher profits by selling to more people for less. Two is increase value. Brands that can claim proprietary features or has the ability to make their product undeniably, and I'm talking about undeniably better than the competition, should increase their value. The last differentiation method is increase perceived value. This is building brand, right? All brands should do this, especially brands that want higher profits and predictable sales without having to rely on discounts left and right. And these are some examples of differentiation from top brands. And let me just say that since most of you aren't in the position to lower your prices without hurting margins or increase value to your product without many complications, I will focus this video on how you can increase perceived value to your brand, since I believe is the most applicable path for everyone watching. So how do you increase perceived value? Well, you could do that by leveraging customer touchpoints. Basically, this is your profit opportunity. E-com brands have a few customer touchpoints that they can leverage within their marketing channel. At the top of funnel, you got your SEO, you got your paid ads, and you got your content in the form of influencer marketing, paid partnerships, or affiliates. In your middle funnel, you got email or retargeting ads. And in the lower funnel, you got your website or landing page, and you got your email flows. These are going to be your abandon to cart or abandonment emails. And then lastly, we got the post purchase, and you're going to be able to do that with email. You can do that with retargeting ads as well, but email is going to be the main way that you're going to be able to do that. And so making these touch points well is your gateway to higher profits. And top brands understand this, and they leverage these customer touch points to simultaneously drive more sales, build trust, and increase their brand's perceived value. And you should too. But there's just one problem, which is the current trust recession. How does this impact you exactly? Because perceived value cannot exist without trust, and a sale cannot exist without perceived value. I know that might be a little complicating, so let me give you a nice example to tie this home. The secret luxury brands like Hermes use to keep their perceived value and sales high is by maintaining a high level of trust. Trust that their products are scarce. Trust that their products are superior. Trust that their products are wanted. Winning trust is the first step to winning the sale. But with so many brands out there, your customers are more selective than ever on who they should trust. And thus, right now, we operate in a trust recession. The question e-com brands need to answer is, how can I build trust? Well, it's not that complicated, luckily. You build trust like how you would with any relationship. Maintain a positive impression every time you meet someone. And if you want to build trust faster, then simply meet them more often and have a good impression every time. This is no different. You create good customer touch points, your customers land on these touch points, and they have a positive impression from your brand. Each interaction builds a little bit more trust, and your job isn't to sell at every step or every touch point. It's to guide them towards the confidence point as fast as possible using quality touch points. And this is the little chart, and so this is the first time your customers actually interact with your brand. This is a customer touch point. It could be an ad, a piece of content, whatever. And the first time they see this, they're going to be cold traffic. And if your touch points are good, each time they see it, they're going to be more and more ready to buy. And they're going to turn from cold traffic to warm traffic until eventually they're confident in your brand and what you promise in your products. And then they become a customer, and then they become a repeat customer, right? So what exactly happens at the confidence point? Well, you're going to naturally drive new and reoccurring sales because your customer touch points help you stay top of mind, build trust, and keep it. You're going to be able to re-engage past customers, cheaply convert your leads into sales, which means better ROAS, increase your brand's perceived value because customers actually enjoy your touch points, overcome objections your customers have on your brand and products, making the sale easier. And you're also going to create an emotional connection to your customers so that they're going to choose you over the sea of competitors. This is why making good customer touchpoints is such a high leverage task when it comes to scaling your brand, because it is a direct revenue generating activity, which means it's important. One touchpoint gives you many benefits, which means it's high leverage, and you build it once and you reap the rewards forever, which means it's evergreen, right? One ad could keep on running and running. The same email in a flow is sent to hundreds of thousands of customers over and over again. And that same email is going to consistently drive sales every time. But how do you actually leverage these touch points? There are three ways e-com brands can leverage customer touchpoints. You can post more content, you can run more ads, or you can send consistent emails. Your end goal is to eventually do all three well. And well is very important here because the biggest mistake is treating this like a checklist. Good customers touchpoints are like a double-edged sword. If you do it wrong, you're going to waste thousands in marketing efforts and ruin your brand's reputation, doing more harm than good. But if you do it right, they're going to know, like, and trust you, making your brand their go-to option. And since you only need to do one touch point and do it well, which one of these do you actually pick? Well, you pick the one that's perfect for you. And we define the perfect channel as this. The perfect channel is the one that you can create quality touch points at high volume with the lowest cost. You want quality touch points because it helps you build and increase your brand's perceived value. You want high volume because the more times your customer sees you, the faster you're going to get an ROI from this effort. And you're going to want the lowest cost because you want to maximize profit, obviously. So what is the perfect channel for you? This is a little simple guide that I made. So who should post content? If you're a founder with an extreme representation of the benefits of your product and you can and is willing to do founder-led marketing plus post content daily, by all means, do this. This is going to be like your influencer brands, right? Joe Rogan, Jocko, Nick Bear, or any Jack influencer selling supplements. Ads. If you have tons of cash and want to scale faster by doubling down on your ad spend, do this 100%. Or email. If your website is getting a consistent stream of traffic and you want a cheap way to not only improve your ad performance, but also convert your leads cheaply, you should 100% do this. And for most of you, email is going to be your perfect first channel. And if you want a longer, more boring reasoning behind this, you can read this here, but I'm not going to go through it. But TLDR, leverage email because content takes time. Running high volume ads is expensive and won't get any cheaper. But if you already have a consistent stream of site traffic, email can cheaply convert your leads into sales, which as a bonus is also going to improve your ad performance at the end of the day. And that's because we have a current problem with the current acquisition strategy, and that problem is costs. So this is what the typical strategy for most e-commerce brands look like to acquire new customers. To be clear, I'm not saying that this doesn't work. I'm not telling you to stop running ads. I'm just saying that it's expensive and it can be inefficient and directly eating into your profits, especially if you're not leveraging email correctly. And so the cost of running ads adds up fast. That's because running ads without doing email and doing email well is like choosing to pay more for the same thing. The problem is only a few percentage of people that see your ads will visit your website, then an even smaller percentage of those people will buy. Most of your ad traffic goes out the door alongside your cost per click. And this results in an endless cycle of ad costs. And with rising ad costs, your margins are only getting more zucked over time, and you need a cheap and reliable way to convert your leads into customers. Don't get zucked, okay? This is the expensive way. You run meta ads, few people buy, most people have objections, and you run meta ads again to overcome the objections of these people. And then this repeats over and over again. And so this is expensive. And every time you repeat this, it's just going to cost you more and more and more. But you don't have to do this, right? You can actually leverage email here. You can run ads to get people to your website, collect their email using an engaging pop-up form, then cheaply convert your leads into sales by retargeting them using email. This is the cost-effective way to scaling your brand at a profit because you run meta ads and email a lot cheaper, but it's actually not that easy. And this is where email design comes into play. Acquiring customers profitably isn't as simple as sending a few email here and there. I'm sure you already know this because if that was the case, then all e-com brands sending email would be widely profitable. And that's simply not the case. For this to work, you need to do email and do it well. And a big part of that is optimizing your email designs. And email designs have one purpose, which is just to increase your email conversions so you can drive more revenue and profit. It's not about making your emails look pretty. At the end of the day, it's about metrics and KPI. So here's how optimized designs make or break your email profits. You're going to spend thousands on ads. Most people are not going to be interested. Some people are going to visit site, right? And then the people that visit site, few people are going to buy. Most people are going to have objections. Then you're going to leverage email. You're going to collect and send them emails. If your emails aren't optimized and your designs aren't optimized, customers are not going to want your email. And then they're going to ignore you. And then they're going to unsubscribe. And basically you're going to say, email just doesn't work for me. But no, it's because you have unoptimized designs. And because you say email just doesn't work for me, you're going to default to the expensive way, which is the over-reliance on ads, and you're actually eating into your profits. But if you collect and send optimized emails, your customers are actually going to like your email. And because they like your email, they're going to consume more of your emails that you send in the future. And then they're going to like your email even more, and then they're going to consume more. And this is a cycle right here, right? And as they consume more of your emails, you're going to overcome more of their objections. And then eventually they're going to make a purchase. And then we have post-purchase flows in place, and we're going to keep sending them emails. And then this cycle repeats, and they're going to become repeat customers. And that's why email is a great way to increase LTV. And so the result of optimized designs is the cost-effective way lower CAC, higher profit margins, better ROAS, increased LTV, more revenue, brand growth. And the result of unoptimized designs is choosing the expensive way, seeing higher cost to acquire customers, lower profit margins, wasted ad spend, lower LTV, missing out on revenue gains and brand plateau or declines, and you saying email just doesn't work for me when it does. It's just your designs, man. So how do you actually optimize your email designs? First thing I would do is look at the mistakes other people are doing and simply don't do them. So let's cover the 5 common email design mistakes right here. Mistake number 1 is having no design. So why is this bad? It's not engaging, it lacks visual stimulation, it's easily forgettable, which means it doesn't leave an impression, and it's also difficult to establish high perceived value because you look like everybody else on the email list. So what can you do instead? You can send a mix of plain text emails and regular emails with designs. Very simple. But you can also run tests to find when is the best time to send plain text or emails with designs. Look at what specific campaigns and where in the specific flows is it best to send plain text or emails with designs. Nobody can say for sure for your specific brand because every brand and every customer is different. The only thing I'll say is test it out and see which one performs the best for your brand. And the reason why we don't want to have no design at all the time is because we live in an attention economy. Your emails aren't just competing with other ecom brands in the inbox anymore. You're also competing with everything else your customers can do in their spare time, like scrolling on social media, binging YouTube videos, or even keeping up with the Kardashians. And because of this increased competition for attention, your emails need to be more engaging than ever. And design is a way to help you do that. These are examples of emails that I would say could use more designs. Mistake number 2 is outdated designs. Why is this bad? Well, it's not engaging, it lowers your brand's perceived value, and it screams promotional crap, which means you're gonna lose your customers' trust. So what do you do instead? Do an honest audit of your current email designs. Stop sending emails that have both low performance and outdated designs because in this case, they're doing more harm than good. And start sending on-brand emails with improved designs. And if you want to know what that looks like for your brand, shameless plug, we can make you one for free. Click the link in the description and book a call with us down below. And the reason why you don't want outdated designs is because the real problem here is that outdated design turns off a customer for life. They mentally label your emails as promotional crap and won't ever open them ever again. Your brand will be seen as unprofessional and your products untrustworthy. And it takes a long time to build trust, but only a second to break it. These are the emails that I would say have very outdated designs. Mistake number 3 is having too much design. Why is this bad? It also screams promotional crap and it loses trust, and it also overwhelms the customer, which gives you a bad customer experience. Design becomes a distraction to what actually sells, which is the copy, and this is gonna hurt your conversion. So what do you do instead? Treat your design as a tool to highlight the copy. Write the copy first, then create design around that, and only use design to highlight a few important elements within the email. And the reasoning for this is that there's nothing that screams promotional crap more than big discounts jumping from the screen. While most brands' mistakes aren't that extreme, too much design hurts your conversions. Your goal is to drive conversions, revenue, and profit. And you do that by educating your audience on the value of your brand and products. Use design to complement that goal rather than distract from it. And so this is an example of emails with too many designs. And as you can see, I can consume this whole email and I wouldn't know what to take away from the email. There's just too much going on and I can't remember a thing. And so mistake number 4 is having too long of a design. So why is this bad? Well, it's going to hurt your deliverability, and also your audience is not going to be engaged, which means you're going to lose the click. Too much effort to consume your email is going to equal to no one actually reading it. So what do you do instead? Focus on having only one takeaway per email, shorten your email copy, and limit yourself to 3 to 4 content blocks per email. And we'll get into that and what content blocks are in just a sec. And the reasoning behind this is that long emails trigger what I call the CBB response. It's too much effort to consume the email. I can't be bothered. The obvious solution is to make the emails shorter. The better solution is to have one takeaway per email. Ask yourself, what is the one takeaway I want my audience to have about my brand or products from this email? Then solely focus your copy and design to get that one takeaway across and nothing more. Clear, not clever. And here, this is an example of an email that is too long. Yes, singular example, this is one email, goes all the way down and it just keeps going. and going and going. Very confusing. And the last mistake number 5 is unoptimized designs. So why is this bad? Well, first, it lowers brands' perceived value. It also bad customer experience, which means you're going to lose trust. And it also hurts conversion the most, which prevents potential revenue gains, which you could be making. So what can you do instead? You can create sales-focused design that maximizes revenue. And this is basically the number one problem that prevents real results, is having unoptimized designs. It is the difference between brands with low email attributed revenue and profitable brands growing month over month. And to be fair, it makes total sense why so many e-com brands struggle to get this right, because they have operations, logistics, customer service, running ads, and much more on their plate. They simply lack the bandwidth and expertise to dedicate to solving this email problem. Good news is, there is a specific formula to optimize your email designs for more sales, and I call this formula the sales-focused designs. And basically, the first thing that you need to understand is sales-focused designs are more than just nice-looking designs. It focuses less on how pretty an email looks and more about how good an email performs. It leverages design elements that increase conversions. Below are 2 nice-looking emails. They're unoptimized, and how I would improve them to make these brands more money. And so you can pause this video and read this and see the reason why they're unoptimized, and see the email redesign example right here. As you can see, the value proposition with the discount and the code is on the top. We got the shop now button up there. It's just a lot easier and good customer experience. They can click and go directly to the specific categories that they want to shop. And as always, reminding them of the code, right? So these are elements that help you increase conversions. This is email example number 2. You can see why they're unoptimized right here. And you can see the email redesign right here. We're optimizing their email designs. We're not changing their brand. That's very important. We're keeping their brand the same, but we're optimizing the designs for higher conversions. And so this is the summary for 5 common email design mistakes. 1, no design. 2, outdated design. 3, too much design. 4, too long designs. And 5, unoptimized designs. So let's move on to the next part of this email masterclass, which is sales focus designs. This is the problem with the traditional approach. You create the email and then you ask, is this on brand? Does it look good? And then you just have a nice looking email. But the sales focused design takes in more things into consideration. Is this on brand? Does it complement the copy? Is it tailored to the target audience? Does it help highlight the brand's USP, unique value proposition, or unique selling proposition? Will it help increase the brand's perceived value? Is it optimized for conversions? Does it look good? And thus it's going to lead to sales, right? So what exactly is a sales-focused designs? Don't be surprised now. They're designs built to generate sales. I know, shocker. Many graphic designers do an amazing job creating stunning visuals, but the problem is stunning visuals doesn't directly translate to sales. If it did, then the best graphic designers would also be the best salespeople. That's not the case. There are many other factors that impact whether your emails lead to a sale, like how good your copy is, how well your brand is positioned within the email, how optimized your email designs are for conversions. The reason sales-focused designs work is because they help these factors that sell better. So why use sales-focused designs? It's an approach to design that never loses sight of what's important: staying on brand, generating sales, and driving conversions. Here's how you can use sales-focused designs to generate more revenue for your brand. So here we're going to cover exactly what goes into a sales-focused design and how you can replicate it for your own brand so that you can scale your email at a profit right here. So we're going to cover how to gain a competitive advantage using on-brand emails. We're also going to show you how to leverage psychology for more sales. And then we're going to show you the approach of approaching emails that's going to make this process fast and easy. And then we're going to show you how to sell with designs, introducing the 7 levers. And at the end, we're just going to show you a bonus surprise gift. So be excited for that. So first thing, don't be forgettable, be on brand. Every email you send needs to scream your brand. If not, then you're no different than every other brand in the inbox. Easily forgettable. On-brand emails make you memorable. The more people remember you, the more you stay top of mind. The more you stay top of your customer's mind, the more likely they are to think of you when they're in the market to buy, which means more sales. This brand email has no identity, so it's easily forgettable. Compare that with these emails. They scream brand identity, and they're really memorable, and they stay top of your mind. And so you're going to come back and read their emails. And so How do you prime people to buy with on-brand emails? Don't overcomplicate this. Match your email designs with your website's design. That's it. When your customer journey is visually consistent, it builds trust, and trust converts. So here's how to keep things on brand. Use your brand fonts, stick to your brand colors, mirror your website CTA buttons, include on-brand graphics, and make sure your font and sizing and spacing and headline formatting is all consistent. And here's a little pro tip from my psychology obsessed brain. You can prime people to click purchase on your website. If you design your email CTA button to look and feel like the one on your site, your customers will build a subconscious habit every time they click your email. They're also training themselves to feel comfortable clicking that specific button. So what do you think happens when they're at checkout? That buy now button feels familiar, safe, easy. They've already clicked it a dozen times. What is one more? So now that you know how to create on-brand emails, how do we make this process faster? Well, the easiest and fastest way to create high converting emails is to see each email as different content blocks put together. Very similar to making a sandwich. The top will always be the hero block. The bottom will always be the footer block, but whatever you put in the middle will depend on the type of email that you're sending. And so what are the main goals of each of these content blocks that you put in your email? Well, you want your content blocks to convert subscribers into buyers. And that means that you want to maximize content consumption. In other words, make it as easy as possible for people to consume the content in your email. And the more content they consume, the more likely they are to buy. Here's why. It comes down to the psychology of why people buy. People only buy when their perceived value, the benefit they believe they're getting from your product, is higher than the price that they're paying for it. When perceived value is higher than price, there's a positive price to value discrepancy. The higher this positive price to value discrepancy, the more likely they are to buy. Think of it as the amount someone feels they're getting a bargain from the deal. And the only way for you to achieve that is by making them consume your content. And if you're a visual learner right here, you can see people that are not ready to buy has a low perceived value, or the perceived value is lower than the price. And this discrepancy, the difference right here between their perceived value and your price, if it's negative, is the amount they feel like it's not worth it. And that's why they're not buying. But people that are ready to buy, their total perceived value is higher than the price that you're charging for your product. And the difference between how much they perceive your value to be and the price is how much they feel like they're getting a bargain from this deal. And thus, these people are ready to buy. So how do you get people to consume more of your content? Well, there's two ways to get people to consume more of your email content. You can, one, highlight elements in your content block in order of importance. And you can also naturally guide your customers' eyes further down the email. But how do you actually do this? You do this by selling with design. And there are 7 actionable levers that you can actually implement into creating your emails. And each one is built on design principles visual hierarchy. Use these levers to highlight key parts and guide your readers' eyes to consume more content. And the more content they consume, the more likely they are to buy. Lever 1 is size. Your eyes gravitate towards bigger sizes. So highlight important parts within the content block by making them bigger than others. A general rule of thumb is your headline or your offer should be the largest, and then your sub-headline or offer should be big, and then medium is your section headline, and then your body copy is small, and bold highlighted keywords in the copy. As you can see, these are some examples of size. Look at where your eyes are just naturally drawn to. The second lever is white space. You can also highlight parts by giving it space. Don't just fill your whole email with text or images. Tactically use white space around key parts of your content blocks. Think of it like lights on a stage. If the whole stage is lit, you wouldn't know where to focus. But if the whole stage was dark with one spotlight shining, where do you think everybody will look? See, you can highlight different things using white space. Number 3 is color. Color controls where attention goes. My 3 favorite ways to use color to highlight key parts are: 1, add contrast between what you want to highlight and the background, like this example right here. Use bolder shades compared to lighter shades. Same thing here. Or fill it with color rather than having an outline. As you can see, your eyes are drawn to this thank you instead of these outlines right here. So these are ways that you can use colors. Lever number 4 that you can implement is framing. Framing is another great way to highlight important parts of your email. Great photographers, videographers, and artists use it. So should we. create a visual frame around key parts to naturally draw your customer's eyes in. And there's an interesting activity that you can do here. You could try for yourself and see if it works, or I'm just BSing and yapping. Pick one of the email examples below, close your eyes for a second, then open them and look at the email you chose. You notice your eyes naturally focus on the frame elements. Cool, huh? Now use that to make more money. So pick one of these emails right now and close your eyes, and I'm going to scroll down. So close your eyes now, and now open your eyes now. Bam. So where did your eyes naturally drawn to? Mostly it's going to be in the elements that are actually framed right here. And so that's pretty cool. Next up is lever number 5, leading lines. And this is leveraged by world-renowned artists like Picasso. Leading lines is a powerful way to pull people into your email, maximize their content consumption, and increase click rates. Add lines that lead to where you want attention to go. So this could be important parts or just down your email. Rather than making your customers figure out where to go next, the lines basically act as their guide. And so these are some great examples right here. These lines draw your eyes in here. Same with here. These lines also help you go down the email more, and same with these as well. Very good examples. Next up is lever number 6, which is font. It's a simple but effective method to highlight key parts, which is your font choice. Use a different font style to highlight important elements in your email. Our brains naturally notice contrast. So leveraging font is a smart way to create both contrast and showcase your brand's personality in one move. And pro tip, you can use font and a color combo. So pairing a different font style with a different color makes it 10 times better. I like to use this combo on headlines, offers, and discount codes. And there are some examples right here where they're using different fonts compared to the rest of the email. And the last lever that you can use is layout patterns. My favorite way to highlight important parts. It combines multiple levers, making it a powerful yet simple tactic to deploy. It works by structuring your emails using layout patterns that our eyes are naturally drawn to. Here are my top 3 layout patterns that work perfectly with email. We got the reverse pyramid, we got the F pattern, and we got the Z pattern. Deploy these layouts throughout your email to retain your customers' attention and maximize your content consumption. And the more content they consume, the more likely they are to buy. So this is the reverse pyramid example, as you can see. This is the F pattern example. And then this is the Z pattern example, like so. TLDR, the key to driving sales with email is to use design as a tool to maximize content consumption. You do that using the 7 levers. They make your content easier to consume, maximize your content consumption, and improve your ability to generate sales. And so the 7 levers to highlight key parts within the content block is to make them bigger, surround them with white space, use color to direct attention, frame the objects that you want to highlight, add leading lines to them, contrast with a different font style, or use layout patterns, and you'll be much more powerful when you're designing your emails. Awesome. So now you know how to highlight important parts in the content block using the 7 levers, but what actually goes into making the content block themselves? So this is the A to Z of content blocks. There are 6 main ingredients to create a high converting email sandwich. And by the end, you're going to be able to use all of these content blocks to create an infinite supply of high converting emails for your brand. Very easy and very fast by simply mixing and matching them. So let's start off with the hero block. This is the first thing people see when they open your email. If you get it right, you're going to pull them in. If you get it wrong, they're going to click off before even seeing the rest. Wasted effort on your part. So what do? You optimize your hero block for the above the fold section. That's the part of the email people see without needing to scroll down. This is especially important on mobile. And since most people open their emails on mobile, not optimizing for this means you're leaving serious revenue on the table. So make your hero block good. Your hero block has 3 goals: hook attention, build interest, and make it easy to act. So you can build a high performing hero block by mixing and matching these templates below. In the core elements, which you always want to include: CTA button, headline offer, logo section, and optional elements that are going to depend on the specific emails you want to send. You can include a hero image, subheadline, body copy. Here are some good hero block examples. Next up, we have the bonus social proof block. So picture this, okay? Your best friend's wedding is coming up and you haven't had a haircut in ages. You search on Google, haircut places near me, and see 2 options nearby. You want to choose the best one, so you look at the reviews. Haircut place number 1, 5 stars, 4 reviews. Haircut place number 2, 4.7 stars, 487 reviews. Which one are you going to trust to cut your hair for your best friend's wedding? Most people would choose haircut place number 2, even though it has fewer stars. Why? Social proof. Humans are biologically pack animals, which means we value social proof when making decisions. You can use the same psychology to get people to take action on your email. The goal of this block is to build trust by showcasing your brand's social proof, such as publications you've been featured on, shows you've appeared on, or awards, endorsements, and other credibility boosting elements. So this is a hero block plus social proof example. As you can see, we have as seen in and then the social proof, or this is just a social proof block showing that a celebrity is related to the brand. And this is going to increase your credibility and trust. Another powerful way to leverage social proof is by showcasing testimonials. You can either highlight one specific testimonial, you can feature a series of shorter testimonials, 3 is the sweet spot here, or you could also show a before and after if it's applicable for your specific brand and products. There are 3 ways the testimonial block helps you drive more revenue. 1, it helps build and maintain trust because people only buy from brands they trust. It also helps you overcome objections because your leads have doubts. Specific, relatable testimonials help overcome objections holding them back from buying. And it also humanizes your brand. Featuring real customers using your product makes your brand feel personal, not just a cold, faceless company. And so this is a testimonial highlight example. This is an example with 3 testimonial highlights, and this is a before and after. And then we move on to the benefit highlight block. This is a unique block because it relies heavily on the copy. The better your copy, the better this block performs. So then the question becomes, how can I use design to make the copy even better? The answer is infographics. They can make your copy more engaging, digestible, and easier to consume. Picking the right infographic depends on 2 key factors. 1, how long your copy is, and 2, what your copy is about. Below are a few examples of high-performing infographic styles. We have checklist, us versus them table, product diagram label, short copy section. And as a bonus gift, I figured you might have liked some of the email examples above and wanted to use them for your brand. And to save you the time and trouble of trying to replicate them, I put together a few of my favorite email templates ready for you to use. They're in an editable Figma file at the end of this training, so once you're done, you can click, make a copy, and use it for your brand completely for free. Cheers, now right back to it. The message block, and this is ideal for longer form content. Think paragraph format style text. This block is an opportunity for you to build brand identity by giving more context. Use this block to share core values, brand stories that resonate, and your unique selling propositions. Design-wise, just make sure that it's visually on brand and use the 7 levers to pull your customers into the copy. Here are a few examples of how this block can come to life right here and like this. Next up, we have one of the most used blocks, the product display block for showcasing products or categories. So giving your customers option increases the chance they find something they like, visit your site, and make a purchase. What you include in your product block would depend on your industry. For example, a fashion brand can use product photos alone since that's what people are actually buying. But if you're an actual supplement brand, pairing your product pictures with short copy that reminds customers the benefits that they're actually looking for can actually perform better for you. So while content varies across industries, design practices will remain the same. Always optimize your emails for mobile. So in creating your product block, you want to avoid displaying too many products horizontally. They become even smaller on mobile, hurting the customer experience. My favorite mobile optimized layouts for the product blocks are the Z pattern, the single display, the double display, and the triple display. So pro tip for more conversions, give each product block or category its own CTA button. Having a dedicated CTA button for each product or category increases conversions because it allows customers to go straight to the product they like. Don't make them search for the product again on your website. Do make it easier for them to buy with dedicated CTA buttons. And bonus pro tip for even more conversions, add a shop all CTA button at the end of your product block. Some people didn't find exactly what they wanted with the products that you listed, but your emails made them interested enough to start browsing. P.S. I like to include some short copy with the CTA to get people over the edge. So this is the Z pattern, as you can see. This is a single display where you display one product at a time. You could also do a double display or a triple display. And lastly, we have the footer block. Those that think they are right and wrong are both right. So how is this random quote relevant to the footer block? Because most people see this block as the useless section included only for legal purposes. And to them, they're right. This block is useless and it'll add no clicks or sales to them. But we know better. So think of this block as your chance to get readers to click into your website. And to you, you also be right. Some people will click and buy because of this footer block, and some is always better than none. It's just a footer or it's a hidden sales opportunity, your choice. Turn your footer block from useless to valuable by offering clickable options for people to explore other products or categories. Basically, not everyone will be interested in the product or category your email highlighted, but you may have sparked enough interest in them to browse for something else instead. So give them the options to explore and make it easy for them to shop. Here are some examples. And bonus number 2, high converting design checklist. Combining content blocks with the 7 levers of design, you can create high converting emails in half the time. But there's just one thing to do, making sure each email is up to standard. And to help, I'm gifting you the high converting design checklist. It's a 2-in-1 checklist that makes sure both your email designs and content blocks are optimized. Use it as your final quality check before sending any emails. And PS, I made it quick and easy for you to use by being very selective of what made the cut. I hope you enjoy. And PPS, you can find the checklist again at the end of the training alongside all the other bonuses, or check it out, link in the description below. Once you've answered how do I design high converting emails, the next logical question becomes, what is the fastest way to design these emails? After all, doing something faster means saving time, and time is money. Here's how you can leverage assets and AI to get more for less with your email marketing. So design assets. This is the key to working smarter. Design assets or email templates help you get 5 times the work done in half the time. And that's not even the best part about them. You make them once and you use them forever, which means high leverage. There's 2 approaches to creating design assets for your brand. You could turn other people's emails into templates, or you could turn your emails into templates. It's your choice. Approach 1, turn other people's emails into templates. You can 1, find email inspiration on websites like Mailed, Email Inspire, or Really Good Emails. You can find an email with content blocks that you want to replicate, download it, screenshot it, and put it into Figma, and then create a wireframe from it, which you can then use for your own emails. Or approach number 2, turn your own emails into templates. You can look at past or winning emails that you liked in the past of your brand, pick the content blocks or the whole email that you want to replicate, and turn them into a usable template. And this should be easy because everything is already designed and on brand. Oh, and by the way, I have a gift for you. I recorded a live walkthrough showing exactly how I create email templates. You can find it at the end of this training as well. Next up, we have AI Designer, which is your graphic designer sidekick. Yes, sidekick. Sadly, it is not ready to replace your whole design team yet, but it is ready to help you work faster. The problem with AI now is that its inconsistency and lack of detail. You can make it work, but if you have other things on your plate, it's probably not worth the headache. However, the 2 use cases I recommend for email marketing are pretty reliable, making them easy to use. 1 is creating product images. Number 2 is hero block backgrounds. Here's how to do it in 3 easy steps. Step 1, ask ChatGPT to give you a prompt to use. The better your prompt, the better your output. Most people don't know this, but you can actually prompt AI to give you a good prompt. Here's how to do it in 3 steps. Copy and paste the prompt template below into ChatGPT, paste in your product link right here, and attach at least 1 plain product photo for reference. So this is an example of what step 1 would look like, and then it should give you something like this. And you move on to step 2, generate your image. ChatGPT should spit out a prompt similar to the example above. Once you have this, copy and paste the whole prompt back into ChatGPT and wait. You get a high quality picture that looks like you had a professional product shoot. Now you can either improve the image further by giving AI more feedback, or take it as is and move on to the next step. And so this is what you should kind of get. And then you move on to step 3, turning it into an email. Download and drop the new image into Figma or Canva. If you want to use it as a product photo, simply crop it. If you want to use it as a hero block background, simply add your logo, headline, subheadline, and CTA button, and ta-da! You've just created a clean, powerful hero block for your email design. I turned mine into a new release email campaign. This is what it looks like. What happens when timeless elegance meets durability? You get the cabin twist. So that's how you can leverage email templates or design assets as as well as AI to work smarter and faster, saving you time and money in the process. But we're not done just yet, because even though your email is done, you still need to optimize for deliverability. And that's because no matter how good your email is, if it takes forever to load or lands in spam, it's useless. But don't worry, it's a quick 2-step process right here. And basically you optimize your designs for deliverability by making the image size smaller without losing quality. And this is done in 2 quick and easy steps. Step 1 is to break your email into smaller chunks. So 1, in Figma, select the slice feature. 2, slice the emails into smaller chunks. And 3, export the email slices as a PNG or JPEG. An important slice tip here is that you need to have 1 link per 1 slice, no more than 1 clickable button in a slice. And when I say clickable buttons, this includes CTA, social media icons, product/category options. This is because when we attach a link to these buttons within Klaviyo, we're actually attaching it to the whole slice. And if you want to walk through as to what this process looks like, you can check this video right here. And step number 2 is compressing each image file. We do that by 1, put all your email slices into a free image compressor tool like I Love IMG or Tiny PNG. Then you compress them, and then you download and rename your compressed slices and upload them into Klaviyo. If you want a better breakdown, this is a video walkthrough of me doing it live. And now we move on to the free resources that you're going to get. There's 3 things you could always be designing. You could 1, create emails from scratch. You could 2, create emails using templates, or you could 3, be making the templates themselves. And to make things undeniably easy for you, I recorded a live walkthrough of me doing each of these to help you see the exact step-by-step process, know my thought process when designing, and understand how everything works together. So enjoy. You can check out all of these videos and see for yourself how you can benefit from it. And don't forget these. You got your high converting design checklist as well as your mix and match email templates. And that is going to be a wrap for today. Thank you for your time. I know we covered a lot, and I hope you got some value for it. If you want more value and more actionable guides, you can sign up for my newsletter. And if you want to find me, you can email me at pasit@rudemarketers.com. If you have any questions, I'm always happy to help. Or you could also follow my social media links right here. And by the way, if you're an ecom brand doing over $50,000 a month and want more help creating high converting emails, book a call with me using the link in the description below. I'll show you exactly what to eliminate, add, and optimize within your email account to turn more ad traffic into revenue. And if you want access to this whole document alongside all the free templates and free goodies that come with it, you can grab that down below as well. And as always, I'm rooting for you. Always take action, and peace.